what are the learning objectives of this lecture? In this lecture, we'll learn what is the concept of regression, equations of lines of regression, and we'll also learn properties of regression. So far, we have discussed about the correlation between two variables. Now, we may be interested in estimating the value of one variable from the value of other variable using the correlation between them. This is we'll study in regression. So what is regression? Regression is a statistical method which helps to estimate the unknown value of one variable from the known value of the related variable. For example, price of a commodity is determined through its demand. As we can study the nature of correlation between two variables by drawing a scatter diagram, we draw a regression line in this diagram to estimate the value. A line drawn to pass as close as possible to all the plotted points on a scatter graph is called the line of best fit or the regression line. Equation of this line is in the form of linear equation. So this is in the form of linear equation. When this line is parallel to x-axis, it is called regression of x on y and is of the form x is equal to y into m plus c, or we can say x is equal to my plus c. And when this line is parallel to y-axis, it is called regression of y on x and is of the form y is equal to mx plus c. In the above equations, m is called the regression coefficient. For regression equation of x on y, it is calculated as x minus x bar, or you can say mean of x, is equal to bxy multiplied by y minus y bar, or this y bar is also called mean of y. And for regression equation of y on x, it is calculated as y minus y bar is equal to byx into x minus x bar, where this x bar is mean of x, y bar is mean of y, and bxy and byx are the regression coefficients. Now, we'll learn what is the formula for calculating this byx. Byx is equal to n multiplied by sigma xy minus sigma x multiplied by sigma y divided by n sigma x square minus sigma x to the whole square. So learn this formula: n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y divided by n sigma x square minus sigma x whole square. Similarly, we have a formula for calculating bxy. So bxy is equal to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y divided by n sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. If you compare these two formulae, you can see that for calculating byx and bxy, the numerator is same in both the cases, that is n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y. The difference is when we have to calculate byx, that is x is at the end, then the denominator will be n sigma x square minus sigma x whole square, and when we have to calculate bxy, that is y at the end, then the formula will be on denominator we have y values, that is n sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. So in this way, comparing these, you can learn these formulae and you have to learn them by heart. Now let's do a question for practice. The marks obtained by 10 students in English and Hindi are given below. These are the marks obtained by 10 students in Hindi as well as English. And what we have to find out, find the line of regression in which Hindi is taken as independent variable. Now we have to put Hindi as independent variable and we have to take English as dependent variable. Now let X denotes the marks in English and Y in Hindi. Now as per the question, since Hindi is to be taken as independent variable, we have to find the equation of X on Y, because X, that is English, is dependent variable here. So we have to find the equation of X on Y. So X means marks obtained in English, that is 10, 25, 13, 25, 22, 11, 12, 25, 21, 20. On adding this, we get sigma X, that is 184. Similarly, we have Y values, that is Hindi values are, Hindi marks are 12, 22, 16, 15, 18, 18, 17, 23, 24 and 17. On adding this, we'll get our sigma Y, that is 182. Now according to formula we need XY also, so we'll just multiply the value of X and Y, that is on multiplying 10 by 12 we'll get 120, 25 by 22 we'll get 550, 13 multiplied by 16 is 208, 25 multiplied by 15 is 375, 22 multiplied by 18 is 396, 11 multiplied by 18 is 198, 12 multiplied by 17 is 204, 25 multiplied by 23 is 575, 21 multiplied by 24 is 504, and 20 multiplied by 17 is 340. And on adding these all values of xy, we'll get our sigma xy is 3470. Now we have to find another variable, that is x square. X square is simply squaring all the values of x. So 10 square is 100, 25 square is 625, 13 square is 169, then again 25 square is 625, 22 square is 484, 11 square is 121, 12 square we have 144, 25 square again we have 625, 21 square is 441 and 20 square is 400. On adding all these values, we'll get our sigma x square as 3734. Then we have to find out one more variable, that is y square. Y square is squaring the values of y, that is 12 square is 144, 22 square is 484, 16 square is 256, 15 square is 225, 18 square is 324, again 18 square we have 324, 17 square is 289, 23 square is 529, 24 square is 576 and 17 square is 289. On adding all these values we have 3440. Now required equation is, we have to find out x minus x bar is equal to bxy multiplied by y minus y bar is equal to x minus x bar is, you can calculate sigma x upon n, that is 184 divided by 10, that is 18.4. bxy you can also calculate by, we'll calculate it later, and y minus y bar is 182 by 10, that is 18.2. Now bxy is n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y divided by n sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. So putting all these values, we'll get our value of bxy to be 0.95. So equation becomes x minus 18.4 is equal to 0.95 into y minus 18.2. This can be written as x is equal to 0.95y plus 1.11, which is the required line of regression we have to find out. Now we learn some properties of regression. Correlation coefficient, that is R, is equal to under root of bxy multiplied by bxy. You have to learn this formula by heart. Another property is we have, if one of the regression coefficient is greater than unity, the other coefficient must be less than unity. Third one, we have the correlation coefficient and the two regression coefficients have the same sign. Fourth one, we have in the equation x minus x bar is equal to bxy into y minus y bar. Here y is the independent variable and x is dependent variable, because the value of x changes according to the value of y, so x depends on y. Now you study this chapter from your study material, practice questions, and do all questions of regression given in the exercise of your study material and ask query if any.